your daily dose of coffee Q&A here on the onocoffee channel. I'm Jay, your host. Today we got a little bit of a special episode. I've been away these last couple weeks, so we haven't been able to do live streams on the regular. But I thought, you know what, let's do one right now. It's going to be a little bit of it's kind of an impromptu, and I'm here in the South Shore in a place called Cohasset, Massachusetts. And this is an area just south of Boston. And I came here to a place called, Marylous Coffee. Marylous is a local coffee shop here in the South Shore that does, good morning to you, Maku, how are you? They do coffee, and here's their coffee cup, right? So we got the coffee here, and I got their black regular coffee. You know, it's kind of funny. This is one of those places you walk in, you're like, oh, I want to get a coffee. And they're like, would you like cream and sugar? It's like, no, please, just the regular. So the black coffee looks pretty good. Let's have a taste of it. We're gonna do a taste. You know, not bad, relatively clean, not dirty, not defecty, relatively clean, so kind of nice. The coffee itself, this is a 12-ounce coffee. 12-ounce coffee is how much? As you can see, look at this, look at the locations, so many locations. And here, the best coffee in town. You know, I gotta be honest, it's one of those places that reminds me of the 90s. So regular coffee, small, $2.80. So fairly affordable compared to the coffee that I got from Stir Coffee, which is in Hull. Very nice coffee shop, $4. Very nice quality coffee, worthy of that $4. But it just the difference in pricing. Good morning to you, Power Plant. So I got this, and then it's all self-serve. Well, it's self-serve for the food. So they got a bunch of pastries out in front of the air pots. They got a whole bunch of air pots. Actually, it's one of those places when I walked in. It's very 90s, right? It's very 90s, and it gave me a 90s vibe because you walk in, and the thing that I walked into the place. So there's a whole bunch of them. There's a whole bunch, right? Let me just rewind it. There's a whole bunch of them. Pink is their big thing. Look at all these locations. All these locations. There's a whole bunch of them, and I've been curious to go in and check them out. And so I went in, and I opened the door, and the first thing that hit me was the aroma of artificial flavoring. And I was like, oh my God. So at first I was like, oh my God, how bad is this gonna be now? Like, it was really like, there's something about those coffee shops that do a lot of artificial flavored coffees that just has a certain aroma. All of those, it's a cacophony of aroma. Like if aromas can have a mishmash, craziness, a cacophony, that's exactly what it's like. And so I was like, oh my God, what am I in store for here, right? Like, I thought, for some reason, I had in my mind that Marylous was not just a coffee shop, but a donut shop. So I was like, okay, give me some donuts. And then I see no donuts. There's no donuts at all in this place. I'm like, oh man, I really wanted donuts. But they do have some muffins. And I was like, okay, the blueberry muffin looked pretty dope. Like this, I was like, okay, that looks pretty dope. So I grabbed the blueberry muffin, and I got the coffee. And I think it cost like $4. So fairly inexpensive. YT is using account names now. Whoops. No more usernames. Oh. Well, you come up as the power plant, so I don't know the change. But like, who is it? Who looked a little bit different? I mean, Kent comes up as ZP6 now, and Maku comes up as Maku Bex. So okay, but you know, I've known you guys for a long time now, so I kind of am able to interpret who is who out there. Unless it's something really, really different. Like when Keone we were doing it on Saturday, and Keone came on, I was like, I'm not seeing that name before. But anyway, you know, I decided I'm just going to go with it. And there was a gentleman that was ahead of me who had a lot of, good morning, Paige. Oh, 3 Tuesdays tomorrow. Oh, nice. And the Cap Hill, excellent. Oh yeah, the heat change. I didn't even notice. I didn't know. I mean, I didn't know that was happening. But the staff is very pleasant, and there was a guy ahead of me who's works for a paving company. He was ordering for his whole crew, so he had like 8 different coffees he was getting. So I was like, oh gosh, here we go. But the girls were really, really, really enthusiastic and helpful, and they were, one girl took care of him, the other one took care of me, and I was like, okay, we're done. All right, cool. But it was kind of strange for me a little bit because it's my first time there, and so I don't really know the protocol of how things work. So they have all these, they have a phalanx of flavors, and I mean like air pots filled with flavored coffees, Hawaiian chocolate nut. You can think about it, you know exactly what, or you can just imagine. And so for me, I'll be honest, I was a little bit horrified, but you know, it's kind of like I thought for a moment, maybe I'll try the flavored coffee because now I'll try the regular coffee. Let me try the regular coffee now. The next time I come here, I'll try a flavor. When I started in coffee, and you know, don't get me wrong, when I started in coffee, I had flavors, right? Like I got a whole bunch of flavored coffees. I was working with a company that I knew from Hawaii called Royal Coffee, and they're a great little company. No, I'm sorry, not Royal. Lion Coffee. Lion Coffee. They have a lion on their logo, and they used to be right down the street from where I lived. And I bought coffee from them. So I bought chocolate macadamia, vanilla macadamia, and you know, I loved it. Flavored coffees have a place. So I can't poo-poo them. Like when I went to Stir for the very first time last week, this place that's actually close to Hull, in Hull, I walked in and the first thing I saw was a Breville, a little Breville Barista Express type of espresso machine. You know, there's a part of me that's like, you know, that wants to give that reaction of like, oh gosh, these people can't be very good. But the reality is that, you know what, it's not. And then when I drank the coffee, it made me realize that, you know, it's not just it's not the equipment. The equipment doesn't make everything. It's really the approach and the passion that the person brings to it. And I met the owner today, Connor. Actually, he was the guy that served me last week, but I didn't really introduce myself. But today I did because I've been there a couple of times already. I've enjoyed the coffee. And you know what? He's got a Breville Express. And I didn't ask him about this, but I figured, you know what? They're starting out. It's a really pretty shop. They've done a very nice job with it. They're very welcoming. They've got good people there. You know, so they spent their money on a nice environment, things you really have a hard time changing in the future. And they went with the Breville Express probably because that's what they have the money for, instead of buying like La Marzocco or like Nova Simonelli or big machines like that. And of course, there's a part of me that's like, you know, taking it back, like, oh, how could I possibly ever? But the reality is that, you know what, it's about the passion, about the commitment. And when I started out in my very, very first shop, I had that La Valentina that we use on the live stream, that little teeny tiny E61 machine. That was the very first espresso machine that I had, and we were making drinks for guests on that machine, and it worked great. And it's where you begin and you build from that. And so, you know, when I thought about it for another moment, I took a moment to think about it. I was like, well, you know what? It's actually, for me, in many respects, rather nostalgic, because it's how I started as well. So, had a crossover with The Shining. Oh gosh, I don't even know what that means. Like, did you get visited by some kind of like spiritual entities? But the coffee so far from Marylou's, pretty good. I mean, not terrible. Like, actually, you know, is it a coffee lover's experience that's going to take you to, you know, I don't know, bright notes and like all this, you know, fanciness? No, it's not that. It's just a nice. It's actually just a nice coffee. All right, so let's see about this muffin. It's very craggly. Look, I'm not craggly. It's very like, you know, crummy. It has that topping like you know, on a coffee cake, that crumble. Pretty good. A little bit heavy, but not bad. So, like, my favorite muffin, blueberry muffin, is one that I had my aunt, who lives here. Oh, that's the wrong coffee. Whenever she comes, when I was young, whenever she came to visit, she would bring blueberry muffins. Her favorite blueberry muffins, which in turn became my favorite blueberry muffin, from a bakery at a department store called Jordan Marsh. Jordan Marsh is long gone, but the memory lingers, and that's my favorite. And so when I was talking, I went in Saturday morning to Stir, and I met their barista Jill, who worked at Dunkin' Donuts and Starbucks for many years, and lived in Boston, and now lives somewhere down here on the South Shore. And we're talking. I said, you know, I was asked about the muffins, and they have muffins there as well. And I said, you know, my favorite muffins are Jordan Marsh. And she's like, oh my God, that's my favorite too. And I was like, what? And you know, it's like, since I live in Maryland, when I tell people my favorite blueberry muffin is Jordan Marsh, there's nobody that I know or that I normally interact with that has any clue as what I'm talking about. Right? They're just kind of like, okay. And then I have to explain, it's this bakery from a department store in Boston, blah, 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 blah. But this girl, Jill, this barista, she was like totally, she knew exactly, like I don't have to explain, right? You don't have to explain. It's like, oh, thank you, God. It's like, thank you, Jesus. Like someone that knows, right? That's kind of, it's just nice to have that. It's just a nice conversation to have with someone that you don't have to explain anything. They just know what you know, and you share in that same enthusiasm for something. It's like, JV. Okay, let's see here. Viva says, I hate the name Choose. Paige hates that too. Account is very old from version 2 of YouTube. Oh, nice. New series, IT. Welcome to Dairy. Welcome to Dairy premiered the first episode. Very good. Oh, nice. I'll have to check that out. Had a crossover. Had a crossover with The Shining. Oh, gotcha. Sorry, I missed that part. You were pulling JV moves at the beach or something? JV? Is that juvenile or junior varsity? Wrong copy. Yeah, I have been, if you see my Instagram, I have been going to different pizza joints here. I haven't posted about the place we went to last night because it wasn't really part of the scene here. So here in the South Shore area of Boston, or south of Boston, there is a whole pizza scene that goes on. And did I miss my turn? I may have missed my turn. Oh yeah, JV. No, okay, so I did follow that. And yeah, I'm totally a novice when it comes to the pizza here, right? So here in the South Shore, there's a whole pizza scene that has evolved and developed called the South Shore Bar Pizza. Bar pizza. And what they are, little 10-inch individual pizza pies that are thin crusted but kind of cooked in a deep dish pan, and with a bit of oil, so they kind of fry at the bottom in some places, and so it gets a little bit crisp. Some places have been crisp. Maybe when you're at home, but I eat everything. I eat all these bar pizzas at the bar. I don't eat them anywhere else. I eat them there, and then I take them home. But yeah, so I was here when I was here like 2 years ago, or a couple years ago. I found out about them. I made a list of places to go and check out. So I made a list. I got a list of places to go, and I started. If I have the time, I try to go to them. And so this trip, I went to like 3 of them, and I think the place called Boss Bar Pizza, to me so far was probably one of the best because I like the crispiness of it. But they also use that one. I got the bacon pizza, which I love. I love bacon pizza. I love bacon. I like pork on my pizza, bacon, sausage, and now there's a whole thing here called linguiça, and linguiça is a Portuguese sausage. So in this part of Massachusetts, this southern part of Massachusetts, as well as Rhode Island and the coastal part of Connecticut, there was a whole large Portuguese immigration to this area. The only reason I knew about this really was because, when I was talking to this guy, Robert, the other day, he's Portuguese. He was telling me about, the migration here from Portugal. And I don't mean that Robert's a Portuguese guy that just arrived and been here his life. Like his families have been here for a couple generations, that kind of thing. And the only reason I knew about this was because I watched a movie many years ago called Mystic Pizza. And Mystic Pizza kind of, their ethnic heritage is supposed to be Portuguese, and so they kind of touch on that. And I only learned about it then. I was like, oh, that's cool. And so to see that in real life was like, oh, this is cool. But linguiça is a topping that you really only find here in this area. They put that on the pizza, and they normally cut into so the linguiça, right, they'll cut into quarters so that it's kind of